Choose intuitively. Follow the pull. Timestamps are below when you are ready. Pile 1. You pulled card 28. Intimidation. This doesn't feel like someone who didn't care. This feels like someone who felt more than they knew how to handle. You have the Ten of Swords, Ace of Wands, Three of Swords, and Guard the Nesting Ground. The first thing I notice here is silence. Not because there was nothing to say, because something felt difficult to say, like they kept holding things back, because they felt smaller around what they felt. And intimidation here feels interesting, because I don't feel fear in the usual sense. I feel someone becoming intimidated by the intensity of what they felt. Sometimes people are not afraid of another person. They are afraid of what they begin to feel around them. Because feelings ask things from us, the things we quietly hope nobody notices. And showing those parts can create fear, fear of disappointment and fear of change. And the Ten of Swords feels like past pain here, before this connection even fully unfolded. This is someone who already carried disappointment. Someone who had already told themselves, I'm not doing that again. I'm not getting attached like that again. But then the Ace of Wands appears, and suddenly something unexpected happens. Interest returns. Curiosity comes back. Hope, like a feeling they thought had gone, started waking up again. But the Three of Swords feels like the reason they never said it. Because wanting something and believing you can keep it are not always the same thing. I almost hear them asking themselves, what if I let myself feel this and lose it? And Guard the Nesting Ground confirms the same thing. This is someone protecting something fragile, protecting their heart, protecting feelings they were not ready to place in someone else's hands yet. Not because they wanted distance, but because they were afraid of losing something before it even had a chance to grow. What they never said was that you reached a place in them they thought had already closed, and that scared them more than they wanted anyone to know. And for some of you, they weren't pretending not to care. They were trying not to care and realizing it wasn't working. Pile 2. You pulled card 1, Denial. I can tell you right away. This doesn't feel like someone who stopped feeling. This feels like someone trying to convince themselves they had already moved on. You have the Four of Swords, Princess of Wands, Seven of Swords, and remember the bones. The first thing I notice here is distance. Not physical distance for everyone, but emotional distance. Like someone stepped back and told themselves they needed space, something quieter than they were feeling. And denial here feels very interesting because I don't feel someone lying to another person. I almost feel someone trying to argue with themselves, like saying, I'm fine, I don't care that much, while another part of them kept saying something completely different. And the Four of Swords feels like someone who decided to withdraw, someone who needed rest, someone trying to calm themselves, because things had started becoming louder than they wanted to admit. Not louder around them, louder inside them. But then the Princess of Wands appears, and suddenly everything changed. It feels curious, like excitement slowly returning, even when they were trying not to look at it, like catching yourself smiling before remembering you weren't supposed to. But the Seven of Swords feels like the reason they never said it. Not because I immediately feel deception, but because I feel avoidance, like someone trying to walk around their feelings instead of through them, trying to stay one step ahead of what their own heart was doing. And remember, the bones says something interesting here, because it feels like life bringing someone back before the excuses, back before pretending things felt simpler than they really did. What they never said was that they kept trying to move away from what they felt, and somehow kept finding their way back to it. And for some of you, they weren't pretending because they wanted to fool you. They were pretending because they were still trying to fool themselves. Pile 3. You pulled card 26, acceleration. This doesn't feel slow at all. This feels like someone who thought they still had time and suddenly realized feelings were moving faster than they expected. You have the Ten of Wands, the Hermit reversed, the Tower, and welcome then welcome. The first thing I notice here is pressure, like someone carrying too much, too many thoughts, too many questions, too many things left unsaid, like trying to hold several doors closed at once, while something behind them keeps pushing. An acceleration here feels very interesting, because I feel speed, force, movement. I don't feel someone calmly processing emotions. I feel something speeding up, like moments becoming louder, thoughts becoming more frequent, feelings becoming harder to ignore, like realizing, wait, when did this become important? And the Ten of Wands feels like someone becoming tired, not tired of connection, tired of carrying everything by themselves. Because holding feelings down takes energy. Pretending not to care takes energy. Acting normal takes energy too. But then the Hermit appears in reverse. Because this doesn't feel like solitude anymore. This feels like someone reaching the limit of staying inside their own head. Like someone who kept searching for answers alone and realizing they aren't finding them there anymore. And then the Tower arrives. And people become afraid of this card. But this doesn't feel destructive to me. It feels honest. Because sometimes things fall apart only because they were becoming too small for what was trying to grow. Like walls finally giving away. Because holding them up became harder than letting them fall. And welcome then welcome says something almost beautiful here. Because I feel someone standing in front of feelings they never planning on having. Feelings that arrive inconveniently, unexpectedly, at the wrong time, or in ways that didn't fit the story they were telling themselves. And yet, they arrived anyway. What they never said was that they thought they could control this. Until one day, they realized it had already changed them. And for some of you, they weren't running because they felt nothing. They were running because everything started happening faster than they knew how to handle. Take what speaks to you, leave the rest, and thank you for being here.